Welcome. In this video we're going to look at the stock tab of the Compassheet model and how to input on that. Stock tab's very simple. We have an opening stock value that's brought forward from the opening balance sheet. So we can see the figure here in green is, on this example, £120,000. So that's the figure that's been input onto the opening balances when we put what the estimated values were at the start of the model. So that £120,000, and we look here on the stock values under the grey headings. These are the values that are going to actually be put in the model. Any figures that we put in the table beneath the blue headings are going to override that figure. So by default, if there's nothing in the box, it's going to put that £120,000 in. So if we look in December, it's £120,000. In April, we'll make the assumption that there's going to be less stock in, so it's gone down from 120,000 to 100,000. If we delete that, it's gone back up to 120,000. However, if we put a 0, it assumes there's going to be no stock. So it's only if there's a blank, this is 120,000. So it could be, if we were going to build up stock, 130, 135,000, 140,000, etc. So whatever figures we put in here, it will override that opening figure of 120,000 and build that up. What the model does when we're increasing or decreasing stock, it feeds that through into the supplier payments and balances as well. So through into the cash balances and the trade creditors or supplier balances, will take into account the fact that we need to buy in an extra £10,000 worth of stock, and depending on what we put in the payment terms for stock suppliers, so if we go back into payment terms for stock, we'll see there 30 days later it will assume that we'll pay for that stock. So going back to the stock here, £120,000 goes up to £30,000. It will now assume in our model that 30 days later we're paying for an extra £10,000 worth of stock. So because it's an integrated model, the cash impact and the when we're looking at the balance sheet as well, these figures will feed through automatically. So it's a very simple way of reflecting what your stock balances are and any seasonality in the business. If you don't have any stock, it's even simpler. There'll be a 0 there and you can forget this tab completely. So there's the overview of the stock tab.